You know
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Illis Demeanor, and you are now tuned in to the 50/50 podcast with my co-host
West, y'all.
Yes.
Welcome back to our first episode. Welcome back for the first time, I should say. We just go ahead and jump into things. I mean, I don't know how else to do this. We'll figure out things as we go, and I hope y'all are strapped in along for the ride. Let's talk about UFC 287. We got Israel Adesanya coming up against Alex Pereira again. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think Izzy can come back and get this title? Or are we going to see a repeat? Or I should say a goddamn quadruple peat. He's already 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion?
I hope it doesn't come back for a quadruple repeat. Izzy is my favorite fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if he lose, I'm going to quit watching UFC.
See, I can't say I'm going to quit,
No.
but the pain sucks, bro. And I feel it. I feel Izzy has enough to get this title back. He has me worried only because of the way he's wording things in interviews. He said something about this is his last shot.
Mm-hmm.
That might be taken out of context in a kind of way, but the way he says it is almost, if I don't get this W here, I'm done. I don't know if that means he's done on a title reign, if he's going to move up. I see Alex Pereira moving up to light heavyweight. He is so big.
Yes.
And now they got Yuri Prochazka moving up to fight John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going up, and he's going to fight Sweet Dreams for the light heavyweight title.
Yep.
We also have Jorge Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns on this card. Who do you got for that one?
Gilbert Burns.
I do
Hands
too.
down.
I would love to see Jorge get this win, only because Jorge has been taking so many losses, not only in the octagon, but on the street with the legal thing with Kobe Covington.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we see Kobe ringside at the Usman-Edwards rematch, calling for the title shot. I don't know if Kobe has done enough to warrant a title shot. I even seen something today, matter of fact, about Conor stepping in for Kobe because Kobe wanted more pay-per-view shares. So maybe we get Conor versus Edwards in London. What do you think about that?
I think that'd be a good matchup. You know, Conor, that's my boy. He's been a champion before, so I think we should give him a shot.
See, he's been double champ, but he's never been a champ at 170.
Okay.
Can he beat Leon?
I think he's been out of the ring for too long. Well, the octagon too long. Leon, he hot right now. He got a winning streak. He just beat Usman twice, right?
Mm-hmm. One with a vicious head kick KO.
Yes. So I don't know. If Conor does get a spot to fight Leon, it's definitely gonna be a challenge.
See, I'm with it. I'm with you, and I'll say it from day one. I say it all day long. I am a Conor dick rider, no homo, but that's my boy. I mean, he's pretty much what got me introduced to MMA. Just his cockiness, the character, the backing it up, the flashy, the press conferences, man. It was wild.
His walk.
Yeah, the Billy strut, the everything. Yes, everything. I wouldn't be mad if they shoot Conor up there for the title shot. Yes, he has been out the ring for a while. I've been seeing some sparring footage. I don't know if that speaks to a lie because it looks like he's only going like 50.
He got big.
Oh, he's
too.
big, bro. He looks
big.
Juicy. He is definitely. I think his piss would melt the urine cup. To be honest with you, right now, Conor is juiced up.
Yeah.
On another topic, today is April 1st, bro. I'm 5 days away from being 33.
Woo.
I'm old, bro.
I'm 33. That's not old.
You old as fuck already.
That's not old.
Give me
man.
5 days. I'm gonna be there with you. Man, it's weird, bro, to think. Because when we was kids, bro, I would see people in their 30s. And I would think they're so old. Like, I got so far away from there.
Yeah.
And it seems like I blink and I'm here.
I'm 33. I feel like I'm just getting started, man. I mean, I
agree.
I feel like I'm just getting started. A lot of people, when they, just like you said, when they say 33, they're like, man, he old. But when you actually turn 33, it's different because you're like, nah, I ain't old, man. I still got it.
And you start looking at them 60-year-olds and you're like, oh, man, that's old. And next thing you know, you 60 and you're like, all right, maybe it's 80. Maybe it's 80.
For sure.
Be like Jay-Z pushing the age, 30's the new 20. Nah, it's the same old 30. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, Drake today dropped a new song sampling Kanye West's ex-wife. What do you think about that? Was that a straight shot for Kanye, or is that just Drake using the hottest girl to get his clout up?
Both. So he using the hottest girl to get his clout up, and I think it's a diss towards Kanye.
Have you heard the song?
I haven't, but just you telling me that right there, I think it's a diss.
It's a banger, bro.
So when you say sampling Kardashian, like, what is it, like her voice?
Bro, he is sampling her voice from a phone conversation talking about the divorce with Kanye.
That's definitely a diss.
Definitely a diss, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a diss.
But then also, like you said, using Kim K. I mean, who's not going to use her name to get clout up? He's Drake. He don't really need to use nobody for clout. So I feel it is more diss than clout. But, bro, the song's a banger.
I'm going to have to check it out.
It's a banger. I've played it at least 3 times a day. I think it's called Rescue Me. And it's a banger.
Okay, so hold on.
I'm not mad at it.
So, all right, so that goes back to the title. You said Rescue Me.
Yep.
So they divorced, right?
Yeah.
Kanye and Kim is divorced.
Yep.
Rescue Me. Mm-hmm. So was he trying to like rescue Kanye's girl?
In the song, he is talking more to the female, telling her to come rescue him. And I know that sounds a little corny, like off top, you're like, why do you need a female to rescue you? But the way he says it, it's like, take me out the club, take me out the trap, take me out the globe, take me out the map. Someone come and rescue me. So it is the man perspective of the female talking about save me. Mm-hmm. But that Kim K sample in there just feels like, did it need to have it? I don't think so. So I feel it's a dig to Kanye.
Yeah, because the fans, when they hear it, they be like, wait.
Yeah, and you know, bro, there's no editing on the voice. It's straight up Kim Kardashian. And he even uses her little okay, like in the verse. He says something, and it's just her like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a diss.
See,
that's a shot.
I feel like, man, I really wish Kanye would go back to the old Kanye. Not music necessarily, but just not this crazy pro-Trump, far-right. I don't know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's for clout. I mean, Adidas dropped him. Think about it, bro. That's got to be $1 billion deal. You fumbled probably the biggest bag you've ever had in your life. Yeah. Not saying Kanye needs money. Of course, he probably don't. Yeah. But
I think I read something where they said that they couldn't sell the Yeezys.
Oh, they'll probably just drop them all together. Yeah. If not, make a...
Because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I seen something where they said they had so much Yeezy product that they needed Kanye to help them sell.
Like they already have it made?
They already had it made. So I guess he had like a contract with them, I think.
Yeah.
And like some of it was already in production.
Damn.
So when they dropped them, they was like, okay, we got all this Yeezy product.
Do you think they sell it, or do you think they just eat that money and take the loss? It's almost a lose-lose. Do you stay on brand with the man who is talking about he loves Hitler and sell that product, and then it looks like you're promoting someone saying they love Hitler, or do you just send all that Yeezy gear to Africa?
Like, here, y'all can
like how they do with the Super Bowl shirts of the champions who didn't win it. Yeah. Like they always ship it to third world countries. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we about to see a whole bunch of third world countries rocking Yeezys like Super Bowl champions that could have been.
So I think you gotta look at it like this. How much money has the Yeezys made Nike?
Adidas.
Or, okay, my mistake, Adidas.
I bet you it's a lot. Because I'm pretty sure they say it's $1 billion deal.
$1 billion
So if it's $1 billion deal, you know they are making multi-billions. Because they're never going to give, whether it's record labels with artists, whether it's designers with the people they collab with, they're never going to give them majority share unless you got a really good lawyer. I don't know what Kanye's deal was. I'm not going to speculate, but I feel like Yeezy has to be a multi-billion-dollar brand just with the name Yeezy itself. Not to mention him doing all his collabs with Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all the shirts that look crazy, like the Holy Rip shirts. I don't know.
That stuff look like poor people clothes.
I think he's doing it on purpose. I think he's going back to the
Bible. Shirts where they got holes in them.
Yeah.
And then you got like, you know what I mean? Like they got rips and then they like falling off of the shoulder.
It's
and then
oversized.
They like long. Yeah, oversized. I'm like,
there's something, I've seen it somewhere. I may be wrong. I ain't read the Bible front to back. But there's something that I've seen where it says in the Bible, the rich will start to basically want what the poor has. So it almost makes me wonder, is it him using the Bible and kind of like sneaking that in there? Because Kanye is mad religious. Like, Jesus walks everything, That's what I wish he would go back to, really, though. His Christian fundamentals, me not being Christian myself, I still support him going back to that because he seemed like a much happier person. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just off his meds. Maybe he's bipolar as a motherfucker. I don't know. But Kanye now talking about I love Hitler and I can be like Jesus loving everybody. He tried to get out of it with that. I don't think that's a slide. I don't think you can say I love Hitler and say, well, because Jesus would have done it.
No, you can't say that. I don't know what's wrong with him. He acting weird.
Hey, I'm just saying Drake got a banger. I'm telling you, Rescue Me is a banger. I think it's going to do big numbers. I don't know if he's got an album coming out. Man, if he was smart, I would tie that to an album because it's going to be big. It's definitely going to be big. Another thing that dropped today, another event that happened, NBA lifting the ban on marijuana and saying they were no longer test players. How do you feel about this?
So, marijuana, I think if it's medical marijuana and it's helping you in whatever type of way, as far as like helping you like perform better, better on the court, or maybe helping your bones heal, then I'm all for it.
What if they're doing it just to do it? You don't think they should?
I don't think they should. Because marijuana smokers, it affects certain people like in different ways.
Of course, everything.
Some people it makes them kind of sluggish. So if they're making a player sluggish and they're not performing like how they should, I would say, hey man, you don't need to take this.
What do you think a player would risk doing something that's going to hinder their performance? Say if it does make them sluggish, because I'm gonna use your logic. I'm gonna flip it back on you. You said if it helps them, you're for it. That to me almost sounds like it, like they could take steroids because it helps them. Are you for steroids in the game? Can they take steroids? I think they can. I don't think they test for steroids in the NBA. It's not like the UFC. I think they can pretty much do whatever peptides, PEDs, performance enhancing, whatever. So if they can do that with weed, I think they should be able to do it regardless. Because I think once they're off the court, it don't matter what you do. I think that's your own free. That's the same thing with jobs. A 9 to 5. That's their 9 to 5. I think
the crazy thing is they try to like even control it like off the court.
This one,
like you know what I mean. Like so, if you're under the influence of anything like off the court, and like you come into practice or you come into a game, they're like, hey, are you on something? Right. And then they automatically like drug test you. Yeah. And so then if you have have any in your system, they're like, you're suspended for however many games.
And unlike a regular just 9 to 5 job where you probably just lose your job right there, they are just gonna get suspended and also get fined crazy amounts, probably like 50,000. What up? I don't know, something crazy.
But if it's subscribed to you by a doctor, of course they gotta say, well, okay, you have a problem, right? So this is why we're subscribing this to you.
So do you think? So if you think a doctor gives it to them, so if a doctor gives them pain pills, do you think they should be able to take those and play?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I honestly do, because it's a doctor is subscribing that to you for so pain pills. You're in pain, so I know athletes, they get injured. You know, whether if it's their back, you know, their knee, foot, ankle, whatever. I think if a doctor like subscribes it to you, then yes. But if you're just saying like, oh man, I just want to take it, you know. So I think like the, what do they call them? Like, I guess the medical staff.
Yeah.
So if they say, okay, I see you have these pills, these pain pills, or you have this marijuana. Did the doctor give this to you? And they have proof showing that the doctor gave it to him.
What about shady doctors though? What if a doctor is just getting paid by the player, and the player's saying, "Hey, my back hurts, right? Wink, wink." And the doctor's like, "Yeah, here you go. Take these oxy, whatever." What do we do about that? Because there's no way to regulate that. We can't say, because we don't have access to their medical records. And there's no way we could see that.
Yeah, I feel like you should show some type of proof that they gave it to you and why they gave it to you. And let's say, for example, like there wasn't a doctor prescription, like they didn't subscribe them to you. I mean, the player should get suspended, like indefinitely. They shouldn't be able to get back, or I'll take that back. Probably not indefinitely. It depends on like how bad it is. So we'll probably say like, okay, you should be suspended for a certain amount of games.
Okay.
You know, but the doctor, I don't know, it's kind of different.
That's what I'm saying, because you never
the doctor,
know.
I might be like, man, like you knew.
Yeah.
You know, even though the player knew too, you know, but the doctor, I'd be like.
Well, I listen to the guys, ex-NFL players, talk about on Rogan how, like you said, the team medical staff would just juice them up, give them pain pills, a cortisone shot, and send them out on the field. This guy was telling me he was microdosing mushrooms, taking Adderall, and whatever pain medication, you know, the team doctor was giving him, and then going out on that field blitzed out of his fucking mind and just wreaking havoc. He said he was talking the most wild shit, telling quarterbacks he was going to eat their children and just on some Mike Tyson shit, you know. And
Mike Tyson.
I mean, that's Mike back in the day, you know. I want to eat your heart, you know.
Eat your children.
Yeah, praise be to Allah. I mean, but also that was Mike coked the fuck out, you know. Mike was Mike back then. Mike's still Mike, but he's just.
Back then,
it's more mushrooms now. He's a lot calmer, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think marijuana should be. They should just let them do whatever they want off the court. I don't think marijuana is a performance enhancing drug, so I don't see there being an issue with it. Nobody is smoking weed. Well, I can't really say nobody. I don't know everybody, but I would like to think nobody is smoking weed and then going and playing better than they would versus not smoking. I don't know what the studies are on that. They're like, hit these threes, Steph. Now smoke this joint. Hit these threes, and if he breaks all of them, you know, we can't even really put that on the weed. Maybe he's tired from hitting threes before. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what the studies are.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, since we're on the topic, since the NBA went ahead and said they're no longer going to drug test, do you ever see a point where America just does away with this war on drugs and we just decriminalize drugs and just tax them and make profit off it like they've done with cannabis?
I feel like they're going to do that.
You think so? With everything?
Yeah.
Heroin, meth, everything.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Like, if they're starting to do that in sports, let's just say, so I guess the NBA is first, right? Like, are they the first to actually like lift the ban?
No, UFC. I think
UFC.
it was. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so UFC. Now it's the NBA.
Yeah.
NFL too.
I'm not sure.
So I think so. If you start with one sport, eventually it's gonna start going down to like the other sports.
But do you think that will lead to our government saying we are going to let the public decide what they feel is safe to do? I mean, I think it would be better because then you wouldn't be buying shit that you don't know what's in it. Especially with fentanyl nowadays. Bro, I'm scared shitless for my kids to grow up.
Fentanyl.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, all right, so fentanyl, let's get on that since you brung that up. you can only get that from a hospital, right?
No, it's in a lot of shit. Like, there's a girl that just died from Van Buren that she thought she was buying acid in a liquid form, and she took an eye dropper and dropped drops in her eye. I think it was her and her cousin did it, and she for sure passed away. I don't know if the cousin ended up surviving, but she passed away. Yeah, and she dropped fentanyl into her eye.
Okay, how do you even accidentally drop fentanyl into your eyes?
Because she thought it was acid. She thought it was something else. She bought it off the street. That's what I'm saying.
So how's it even getting on the street? People can...
Drug dealers or...
How's the drug dealers getting it?
Well, that's what I was about to say. They lost their connect to just heroin, which is pretty much what fentanyl is, a super version of heroin.
In a liquid form.
And I think China has a lot to do with it. I think, with us putting, what do you call them? I think it's not rations. I think it's like typhons on their shipping. I'm going to sound like a fool on that one. But we put that on them, right? Basically a tax that we said, we're going to charge y'all X amount for whatever foolery y'all are doing. I think China said, okay, well, we're going to stop heroin from coming to you. And instead, we're going to let fentanyl pass through. And then, because it seemed like overnight the heroin dried up. Like that's what people who, like on Skid Row, are saying. They're like, it was just night and day. There was heroin, and then there was fentanyl. It wasn't a slow build-up. It wasn't like a gradual climb. It was just boom.
Yeah, I heard that fentanyl out there, like one, like little bitty.
Yeah.
Like just like a little drop.
Yep,
like a little raindrop, man.
Yeah.
And people are dying. Like, that's scary.
And they're putting it in fake pills for one, fake opioids, putting it in weed for some reason. Like, people who buy weed just want weed. They don't want heroin.
So I guess it's like wet, like the weed kind of.
Yeah, if the girl dropped it in her eye, it can be in whatever form you want. But fentanyl itself it looks like every time I see them and they show like examples when they're like, this amount can kill you, it looks like a grain of like sand. Like a powder form. But like I said, you could put that powder into liquid and it's going to dissolve but still have the potency to kill you. Yeah. Such as it did that girl. Yeah, it's wild.
That's scary.
I think it would be smart of the government to go ahead and legalize everything. That way, not only do we make the tax money revenue off of the legal drugs, then we also stop all of the accidental overdoses on things like fentanyl. Because it will be regulated by the government. Therefore, it will be tested and monitored. So when you go to a store and you go, I want to buy mushrooms, or I want to buy meth, or hair, whatever you want to buy, it's going to be FDA approved, just like Tylenol, just like anything else would. Anything you get from the doctor. That's another thing. Do we make it to where only doctors can prescribe stuff like that, or do we leave it up to the people's discretion?
If we leave it up to the people,
you don't think it's gonna be good? No,
man. Because if it's out in the world, there's gonna be more people that have access to it. Like, so people, they abuse like their power, like to distribute it. Like they'll say like, all right, yeah, man, here you go, because it's all about money, like profit. Right. So if you put that in the hands of somebody that works at like a gas station, let's say you can go up the street, you can buy it at the gas station. Yeah, they gonna give it to kids. It doesn't have to be like government approved. They're just gonna be like, yeah, man.
Well, it would still be monitored, just like cigarettes and alcohol. You would have to show ID, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you killing.
And I don't think they'd ever sell them at a gas. I don't think we'll ever get to a point where you can buy heroin in Walmart. I think it's going to be dispensary type things. And with those, you have to be of age to even walk in the door.
But still, it's killing people.
Because it's not regulated. That's why it's killing people right now. So if the government regulates it, they will make sure it is 100% what says on what you're buying. So if I want mushrooms, it will be 100% psilocybin mushrooms. There will not be fentanyl, marijuana, THC. There will not be nothing added to it. It will be exactly what it says on the packaging. Yeah. And here's the thing. Other places that have decriminalized all drugs has actually seen a drop in drug use. it's almost like you take the taboo off of the drug, and then people are not so enticed to do it.
Because okay, I think I get what you're saying, because it's like not like
it's not like don't do it.
Yeah, because it's exactly what you're getting. It's not like they don't put like an extra like boost into it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
But like think about it as a kid. If I take a cup and I turn it upside down on the table and I tell my kids, don't look under that cup, they go, why? I say, don't do it just because I said to.
That's gonna make them want to.
It's gonna make them look under the cup, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with drugs. The government says don't do this. We go, why? They go, just because we said it's bad.
They're gonna do it.
They're gonna want to do it more.
Yeah.
So you take that taboo off of there, and
you be like, yeah, okay, you can get it.
You let them
it's
get
gonna
it.
Make them be like,
Bro,
I can get that anywhere.
Exactly. And people like, for example, marijuana. You know how people know they don't like marijuana?
Because it's not like the strain. It's not a strain.
Like people who don't smoke. It's because they tried marijuana and they said, that's not for me. And then they just didn't do it. That's going to be with everything. You try it, you're probably not going to like it. I know with mushrooms, I even like mushrooms, and it's not something I would do even yearly. Like I wouldn't do them twice in a year, I don't think. I would do it like once every 4 years just to make sure I keep my ego in check.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that's a big... It's a big thing to me. Like, ever since I started doing them, and like I always tell people, I never look for them. I don't ask people, hey man, you know where this? Like, never. They find me, and I feel like it's the universe telling me, hey man, you getting a little out of line. Check yourself. And the mushrooms will check your motherfucking ass.
Sense.
They will check your ass. But if I had it to where I could just go to a store, I'd keep the same process. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, if they had access to it, would they go buy it more? Do you think they would?
In my perspective, I think they would, because let's say like if that's what you do, like you like, man, that's what I do. Like I take mushrooms, man, and if they're hard to find, you like, dang man, I need to find out where to get them.
Yeah.
But if you go to someone and they like, oh yeah, we got them right here.
Yeah.
You can get them anytime you want to.
You think they're gonna abuse it?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, all right, yeah.
So here's my question now. Where do you draw the line at? Do you let people buy soda pop if they abuse it? Do you check, hey, how many did you buy this week? Hey, you done bought a 24-pack yesterday and you're already out? Hey, man, you had a problem.
They don't.
See,
they don't do
they
that.
don't.
They don't do that.
And that's
why
what I
you got
believe.
more alcoholics.
Oh, for sure. But
So
I also feel like if you're not going to do it with stuff that we know does harm, cigarettes, alcohol, why do it with stuff that's safe, like mushrooms are even safer than marijuana.
Okay.
Marijuana can cause a psychoactive break in some people. Mushrooms, you might think you're losing your fucking mind, but once you come down, majority of the people are actually healed from PTSD, stuff like that. I know places like Colorado, Oakland are doing MDMA and psilocybin treatment with like soldiers and ex-police, and some of them are being cured with one treatment. So they're going into a building, they're sitting down with either a doctor or maybe it's like a psychologist, I'm not sure, and they're taking a dose of either MDMA, which is pure ecstasy, what they call Molly, or psilocybin, which is magic mushrooms, and that makes you trip. And within one treatment, whichever one they shoot, they can be treated for their PTSD that antidepressants could not touch for years. And I think that takes a lot of power away from Big Pharma.
I get that. So in that case, let's say if it's helping your situation or your condition, you can go get it wherever they're letting you get it and just be like, hey man, you got your card on you? Because I feel like you gotta have some type of like card.
That's where
something.
I differ. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. They don't, like I said, we don't do it with soda, we don't do it with alcohol. The only thing you need is ID. As long as you're of age, we let you buy as much as you want.
Okay, so what about only having certain stuff that they have access to?
Like what?
So if it's not hurting you, go for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If it's not hurting you, go
and
for
I
it.
think you would have a lot more people out there functioning and not being sick and not getting poisoned with shit like fentanyl. You would definitely see a decrease in kids overdosing because in places that have decriminalized or legalized, there's a difference in decriminalizing it and legalizing it. They've actually seen kids using drop as well, not just adults but children. For some reason, making it not illegal takes away people's urge to do it. I told you this before. People don't like being told what to do.
Oh yeah.
You know, whether it's go clean your room or whether it's don't drink this. You tell me don't do it.
Adults is like that too.
It's people.
Like,
we have something
people.
in our. I don't know what it is that like evolved with us over time. Because like we're afraid of the dark. That's because back in the day, you know, we used to die if we went outside in the dark. The big cats that have night vision could kill us. I get why all that shit evolved, but I don't understand why we do not like being told what to do.
Something in the brain, or it could be something like human nature or something.
That's what, it's for sure human nature.
Human
but
nature,
I wonder
like,
what's the thing that triggered that. Because like the night, I can see, okay, well that evolved because, you know, back in the day we had to worry about tigers and, you know, animals that were killing us. And then we evolved to see, okay, we can't see that well at night.
Yeah.
Or like move around as good as they can. We better stay in the cave.
Yeah.
You know, with the fire.
Yeah.
And then we'll go out in the daytime when we can see better. Because like
I think it's like with humans, like for like just like you said, like they don't like to be told no or you can't do this.
Yeah.
So I think it's like you have to like oh, I can't. So then when they do it and they like it's a certain consequence, like something that they like get hurt by or something they didn't expect, and make them be like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like we say, like, because you said like the dark, like don't go out in the dark because you can't see.
Right.
You're gonna be like, I'm gonna do it just to try it.
Yeah.
And then you go out, and then you go out there and you're like, oh, that's why I'm not going out in the dark.
Yeah.
But if you go into the dark and you're like, oh, I can move around.
Right.
I can move around. Like if I can't see, I'm gonna try to use like my ears to try to hear. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna like try to feel and see if I can like feel my way through here. But then like if you get like bit by a dog or you know what I mean, or you run into something, you're like, oh, that's why they said don't go out in the dark.
Then
you know what I mean?
Lesson,
or you're like,
learn the hard way.
Like, I'm gonna go out to the like, don't use that gun. You're gonna mess around and like instantly shoot yourself. And you're like, no, I'm not. And then you get a gun, and then let's say something,
shoot yourself with the damn foot.
Yeah, then you're like, oh, that's why you said don't play with this gun.
Bro,
that's
like
why you said keep the safety on.
That's like public speaking. You know why we don't like why that gives a lot of people, like majority of people, anxiety. I was reading it. It gives you get that feeling because back in the day when we had to speak in public, we were pleading our case for something. So it's like we were being accused of something. So they got the big crowd of people and we had to talk to them. And it was basically, if they don't like what we say, they're either going to banish us or kill us. And that's why like public speaking evolved to be like a nerve-wracking experience for humans. It's weird how like shit, like man, it's almost like shit can be passed down in our DNA. I feel like being scared of the dark, like we don't know why we are being scared of things with big teeth. You know, it's like it's just a primal fear that we have, and I think it's almost like a past memory, a past life, maybe. I don't know how to describe it better than that. Unless it's just coded in our DNA, how else would we know about, hey, this big motherfucker thing with teeth gonna eat you? Like, be scared of it. Yeah. Cause like even little kids, that's what they're like scared of. They're scared of the dark, big things with dogs, cats, whatever. They don't like animals. It's almost like the uncanny valley.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% on that because it's weird because let's say like a little kid never seen this.
Yeah.
Ever
Spiders,
in their life.
Fucking snakes.
But like, let's say like you never. Okay, so spider. A little kid ain't never seen a spider ever, but when they see it, they like,
they freak out.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
There's something in the
how
DNA.
Could you be scared of that if you never seen it? Yeah. You know what I mean? And,
but then there's stuff also that like hot shit. Like kids are like, you have to tell them no, don't touch it. You would think like by now, why has that not been bred to evolve with us? Like it's almost like fire and shit is a curiosity. Like some things get passed to us and other things we're like, we're not that worried about it. We ain't gonna hold on to that. The uncanny valley, do you know what that is? It's where something is human like but not human. So like robots that look like humans, but they're just a little bit off. It triggers that same response in us, and if you think about like, okay, how this shit leads to this, that means there used to be something, or there was something back in the day. I think it's disease. I'll explain that. But there was something that looked human back in the day, but it really wasn't. And now we're afraid of anything that looks human-ish, but there's something just a little bit, just a little bit off about it. Whether it be the movement, or like
You're like, what's that?
be like, and you're hesitant.
Yeah.
I think it was disease. I think it was sick people acted different, so it taught people to stay away from them. But some people think maybe like, I'm gonna get out there for a little bit. Maybe aliens came down and like was taking over people and trying to impersonate them, but they was just a little bit off.
Like,
it's like, you ain't acting like my homie. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what's the password?
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
That's why like a lot of people don't like robots. You ever seen the lady that talks with the face?
It's so weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah,
and when you first see it, that's your first thought. It's, damn, it's weird. Like, it's kind of cool, but it's weird. Like, I wonder.
It's like certain movements they do.
Yeah, it's just like,
They
can't get the smile right, like, or the eyes start like rolling around different.
So that's going. So that movements. That's going. Let's go all the way back to the drugs.
Okay.
So when people take them and they do that, that weird stuff like facial features,
yeah.
weird,
I know what you're talking
like
about,
they moving
eating
like
air biscuits.
Yeah,
and
you'd
shit.
be like,
Yep.
so let's say for someone that never took a drug, and they're like, they see that and they're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then you're like, are they? And then someone's like, oh yeah, man, I tell you, like they taking that fentanyl, or they taking that
flocka.
And then you're like, man, that's what that'll do to you.
And
you're
it's
like,
the same reaction. You feel
like,
like,
you're like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want no part of it.
That's how I am.
Okay.
So for
I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to
Same
do
thing.
that. And then some people are like, hey man, but it make you feel good though. And you're like,
nope. I agree 100 because I've seen so many of my family. Bro, I've seen so many of my family like do the meth and like I'm talking about like go down bad. I'm talking the air biscuits, all that shit, bro. I'm talking all that shit, okay?
Zombie.
You know, it is.
I know
Bro, they stay
real.
up for fucking 5 days, no sleep. That shit will kill you quicker than anything. Sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
And I see that, and I think just like you, why would I want to try this? I don't get the appeal. And then like for most people, they just get convinced by somebody like, I'm telling you, man, it's great, blah blah blah. You hooked.
I wonder if the people that actually are doing like all those weird movements, if they even know they doing them weird movements, if they know, if they be like,
No.
Like if they say, let's say like somebody that's addicted to a certain drug, and you be like, man, you know you moving weird.
No, they don't. There's a thing called
like
perma tweaked.
If they look, okay, let's say they look at themselves in the mirror, do they be like, I look like I'm on something?
I think it's such a gradual change that they don't. I think if you like show them like them in the past, because like I got an aunt that used to be totally normal, and now like my kid's an impersonator, and they do like this zombie walk and like all this shit. You know,
do they kids be like, do you know you be like this?
Well, like they know it's weird and they see it, but like you said, does she realize it? I don't know, but there is a thing to where even the police will ask them, "Are you high, or have you been doing this so long that this is you now?"
So the audience, anybody out there that's listening to this, I don't know if y'all take drugs or not, but let's just say, no offense to y'all, do what y'all do, but I want y'all to look at yourself in the mirror.
Look at yourself.
Look at yourself in the mirror, like get like an old picture and be like, why do I not look like this anymore? And then think and be like, I do be taking that flocka. It'd be like, maybe that's why I don't look like this no more.
But I think it's once they get to that point, bro, I just think you so far gone, you just can't. You
can't even.
There's no going back, cause like I know for a lot of people, stopping this shit, whatever this shit may be, whether it's meth, heroin, whatever, they get sick. And that's usually what keeps people hooked, is not that they want to get high anymore, they just don't want to be sick. And there's a long period of being sick, depending on how long you've done something. Mm-hmm. So it could be like 2 weeks. Some people say months, of being sick, and they just don't want that no more. So they'll go, I don't want to feel like this. Let me go do my whatever drug of choice.
And it takes away like the sickness. It
takes away the physical pain, the mental cravings, the routine of whatever it is. Like people who shoot up. I knew this guy, I used to work with him. He said he used to shoot up heroin, and he got the mumps one time, and he went to the hospital, and he said the nurse stuck a empty needle into his arm for an IV, and he was so used to sticking himself with the needle and getting high that when that needle punctured his vein, he got high, and there was nothing in it. It was just an empty needle. And he said, I audibly said, damn, that feels good. And like my eyes rolled back like I was getting high.
And
it wasn't nothing. It wasn't saline. It wasn't nothing. She was just getting the IV ready.
Yeah.
And it was just the routine, because he knew like his body got to adapt to. Okay, once I feel that, I know the high is coming next. Mm-hmm. So he got that one time without the high coming next, but his body went ahead and like sent the dopamine and whatever else. To
whatever's like in his body, like
it like released and it got him high. He said he got high off of it. Your body can like you. If you can figure out how to like conquer your cravings, you can convince yourself like you've already had what your body's craving. Mm-hmm. Like people who do deep meditation. Mm-hmm. Let's say like you're addicted to whatever. Like I don't know if you can get to a point where like you can sit down and like tell yourself like I just smoked a joint, and you can like make your body feel that way. But I know people have like real control over their body to where like.
So for example, like let's say like a sexual feeling.
Yeah,
is it kind of like that?
Exactly.
Like if
that.
you see something that like you get aroused and you're like.
There's this guy on YouTube, and it's such a funny video to watch. But if it's real, it's crazy, and it's hard to get past that because it's so funny to watch.
And sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off, but the reason I use that as an example because I've actually asked when I said, "Hey, why do you?" And it's somebody that I know that like I can talk to them about it, and like they openly like don't feel embarrassed about talking about it.
Okay.
And like I was like, "What makes you want to do that particular drug?" And they were just like, man, it's just like that feeling. He was like, man, it just it gives you like that certain type of feeling. And like he actually like used that as an example, like the sexual feeling as an example, like his words. And I was like,
I hear that with heroin a lot. People tell
like,
me,
man, it just give you like that feeling when you be like, like, man, I gotta have it. Like,
have you ever been so horny you've been high?
I've never been high before, so. I haven't, like, honestly, I've never been high before.
Like, there's a moment, like, say you laying in bed with your girl, bro, and you about to get something right. It's been a minute or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And, like, she does that little, like, booty bump back up on you, and you be like, your heart starts racing. And, like, you get a little dizzy, you get a little lightheaded, all your blood rushing to your dick, whatnot. Like, that's almost fucking a high. That's...
I got you.
That little rush. Okay. And a lot of people are addicted to that, sex addicts. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, there's people who can meditate and can, like...
Make their body...
Like, prolong a fucking, like, busting a nut.
Yeah.
Like, for, like, 10 minutes. Like, they just sit there and meditate and it's like, for 10 minutes straight. They just busting, like...
I feel like you gotta really know your body. Like, you gotta be in tune with, like, everything about your body, man.
That's what it takes. Sit down, some deep fucking meditation type shit. I don't know if I'm busting a nut for 10 minutes and chill with my body. I'm just saying.
I could just be like, without, like, touching, having, like, a physical, like, interaction with anybody. You know what I mean? And I'm just like...
Right.
I can't do it.
No, I don't think I could ever get to that point either.
You gotta know your body, I guess.
Bro, you gotta know your body.
You gotta know your body, man.
To not get a touch.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I can understand being so horny. Like, it takes just a few touches to get it done, but...
Yeah.
I need touches. Yeah, I need some touches. I need at least 2 pumps, something sometimes.
Damn, she look good.
Yeah. Bro, that'd be so embarrassing. Think about it, like, if you didn't have it under control. Like, just seeing a fat ass. You just busting all over yourself, like walking through Walmart.
embarrassing.
Just a shame. You gotta leave your cart half full of groceries and go home.
That's embarrassing.
Nah, that's fucking.
That's embarrassing.
All right, let's switch to something a little more serious. This is something that's been on my mind, especially with the recent shooting of the Christian school. Why do you believe school shootings is solely an American issue? I know we got real serious. We switched up the tone there real quick.
Yeah. Why do I feel like shootings is an American issue?
School shootings in particular. Yeah. Because I mean, you may have like a case over like 100 years in other countries, like one. In America, it's a big deal. Do you feel like we need more gun control? Do you feel like we need less gun control? We need more good guys with guns? What do you think?
Well, I feel like, so let's say you have an issue with someone.
Right.
You're more likely to catch them at school. Because, or let's say...
Well, what do you think about when it's adults going into an elementary, though?
That's crazy.
Why do you think that is solely an American problem? Because it really is. Canada ain't having that problem. You know, France and anything, and over there in Europe, they don't have that problem. Is it because we have so much access to guns? You believe?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
And I'm all for the freedom to bear arms.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I support it. But at the same time, I support making the steps to buying guns stricter. Mm-hmm. Going through not only a background check, but a psych evaluation. And then not just doing it one time and saying you're good, because everybody's mental state can change over time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should require anybody that owns a firearm, that registers to own a firearm, do the background check, do the psych evaluation, and then update it at least every 5 years? What do you think?
That's a good time frame.
Because I mean, think about it. How much could happen to you in 5 years? You lost your job, you got divorced.
Yeah.
Wife took everything from you.
Mentality had changed in 5 years, and you got that gun now, so you like.
But there's something I believe until Americans hate seeing dead children more than we love the right to own guns, we'll never see a change. Because as soon as you bring this topic up, they're like, you're not taking my guns away. And you can tell them, but do you see children are dying? Well, yeah, but who? And they always bring who stopped the bad guy with the gun, the good guy with the gun? Bro, that scenario is so played out. And it's not only played out, it's almost not the case most of the time. Most of the time, it's not a good guy with a gun taking out the bad guy. Most of the time, it's the bad guy with the gun taking their self out.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so for people to be like, well, what stops a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun? Not really. There's no evidence to support that. And this most recent shooter was a trans man, not to be confused with a Trans Am. Trans man, technically shot his way in. It's a biological woman, trans man, shot his way into a school and killed a couple kids and some adults before they were shot down by the police.
He shot his way into a school.
He shot his way through the doors. That's how he got into the school.
What was he going into the school for?
To kill people and children.
Okay, so that goes back to what I said at the beginning. So it's a public place. People are going to be there.
This might actually be a private school. It's a Christian school. I think they're private schools.
Okay, so all right. So it's a private school, but people are going to be there.
Right.
So you're going to target an area where people are going to be.
You want the most people.
Yeah, because whatever's going through your head, because you said you feel like if you get a gun, you should go through some type of
psych evaluation.
Okay, so he got the gun, and he's like, let's say something was wrong with him. He didn't do no background check. He hasn't, did no mental test or anything like that. He's like, I got a gun, and I know somewhere to be because I know I'm gonna go somewhere where there's gonna be people.
Why do you think it's always schools? Why not like the mall? I mean, I know we've had some mall shootings and like big store shootings like Walmart or whatnot. But why? It's the school thing I'm not understanding. I understand somebody going postal and crazy because I know mental illness is a real thing.
Yes.
And man, not to ruffle any feathers here, not to discriminate against anybody because I have trans friends out there. And I know when you say that, you're about to say something that hurts somebody. That's like people going, I'm not racist. But bro, if you have to say you're not racist, you're about to say some racist shit after that.
For sure.
I'm not transphobic. 100% I'm not. Like,
let's just get that out there.
But is that not
but
a mental illness to feel like you're trapped in the wrong body? To feel like a body part does not belong to you? Like, if you was to tell me right now, if you was to go west, I don't feel like my right arm is mine. Help me chop it off. I'd be like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, I'd take you to the hospital and get you help.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take you to the hospital and let you cut off your right arm, you know? But, yet...
You probably won't, but...
I mean, I'll get you a ride. I'll call you a cab or something.
You probably won't, but other people...
So, if I was to say, hey, Sean, illest demeanor.
Yeah.
This dick don't belong to me. Cut this motherfucker off. You gonna support me cutting my dick off?
No.
Or you gonna tell me, hey, bro, I think you need to try some meds first. Let's get you some help.
Yes, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, if you said that to me, I would say, why would you want to do that?
I said, I don't feel like I don't feel right. I feel like I'm trapped in the wrong body.
Okay.
I feel like a woman.
Okay. So this is just me speaking, like me personally. You know, I'm not gonna like bash you for that because I respect a person to actually like come up to me and be like, hey man, like I feel like something's wrong with me. I feel like I'm trapped in the wrong body, or I feel like I have the wrong body parts.
Right.
I want to get rid of it. You know, I would say, to be honest, my first reaction would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then if they just say like, hey man, like I don't want you to judge me, but I feel like I need to change, like I'm in the wrong body part.
Yeah.
I would say, all right.
That's
you know, I would be like, okay. And I'd be like, well, what you trying to do? Right. If you say like, if you just say, hey, I want you to cut it off. I'd be like, I'm not the right person to cut it off.
Well, no, I don't think they'd ask anybody I say that, but people's done.
I would say, and this is just in all honesty, I would be like, have you talked to someone about it?
Right.
You know,
and what if they said yes to like all of this? Like they're like, yeah, I've talked to XYZ. I've been through therapy.
Okay.
I've tried meds. They put me on antidepressants. They put me on whatever else. I still feel trapped.
I would say, well, do what you got to do. That's what I would say, to whatever makes you feel happy.
So do you believe people can actually be trapped in the wrong body? Do you think... Because we don't know how biology works. Me and you personally don't. We're not biologists. But do you think, like we was talking about shit getting passed down in the DNA, do you think there could be something in the growing stage? Because we're all blank at first. And we either develop a penis or a vagina. The parts are the same. The ovaries are the testicles. The testicles just become distended and drop outside the body. But, you know, it's all the same parts.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be something during that stage that, like, you do develop a penis, but, like, mentally you develop as a woman? Because we know personally somebody who is a trans.
Yeah.
And I believe wholeheartedly they believe and feel and should live as a woman. And I support it. Like 100, like I fuck with all her shit. Like if she posts a fly picture, like I'm hearting it with no fucking like remorse. I don't give a fuck what people think. She comments on my shit all the time, like ooh zaddy, and I'll heart that shit too. I don't have no problem with it because I see her as a her. I wouldn't even have a problem with it necessarily if it was a man either. But that's just me personally.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. So it's probably like, I shouldn't even say this, but this is how I feel. So I'm gonna say how I feel.
Go ahead, say it. Get controversial.
Yeah. So
Get us canceled on the first episode.
No. No. So I would have more of an issue if you're trying to hide it. Does that make sense? So let's say you.
It does. Like, I feel that way more with gay people.
Yeah, like if you're
hate
like
when a gay man tries to hide it.
And I would be like, be
Exactly.
like, cause I'm gonna know, you know, you
Exactly.
can know. So I'll be like, hey man, like me, I'll just say, hey man, just be what you want.
You know, we all know, right?
Like,
yeah.
And I'll probably give him a handshake. I would probably make that person actually come out, cause I'll just say,
you would give him a hand job.
No. I'll give him a handshake. I'll be like, hey,
you said
man,
you
like,
gonna make him
I'll be
come
like,
out.
I'll be like,
Okay,
hey,
hold
man,
on.
be what you want to
Wait.
be. I'll be like, be what you want to be. I'll be like,
I don't know why, but
you like him over there, huh?
Yeah, they
like
get under my
it's
skin
a guy,
too. Yeah.
right? And I'll be like, you like him,
yeah.
and then they'll probably be like, what?
Resilient.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? And I'll be
Or
like,
they get offended. They'll
yeah,
be
and
like,
I'll be like,
bro, this a gay
yeah.
shit, bro.
And I'll be
Yeah.
like, you. I know, bro. Like I would talk to him like,
Got a little
you know,
sugar
and I'll
in
be
your
like,
tank.
I know, bro. Like if you like him, then you like him. And I'm like, you don't have to like sugarcoat nothing with me. Like I
Sugarcoat?
or
Bring
if
the sugar to the outside.
if they get mad, be like, sugar, ain't no sugar in my tank.
No sugar
I'll
in
be
my
like-
tank,
I'll
or
be
a banana
I hope
in my
you ain't
tailpipe.
Yeah, I'm like I hope you're not getting offended, man. But like,
Be you.
like be you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be like, you can talk to me anytime, man. Just be you, and I will walk away. And like next time I see him, I'll be like, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah.
You know, and I would treat him like, or her, or whatever, he, she, whatever.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
treat them the same, just like anybody else. But I would be more upset if like you're in denial. Like I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
what you talking about, man? I ain't
Yeah.
on that. You know, I ain't on that gay shit.
Well, and I also believe there is something to that. I believe people who are secretly either gay or maybe bisexual or have gay thoughts
Yeah.
are the same ones who are like, bro, that ain't me. What you talking about that gay shit? I ain't doing like. If you get so offended with it, it almost makes me believe like, why are you acting like that? Like, cause if somebody came up to me with that gay shit, bro, I'm gonna out gay you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, you trying to get your dick sucked or something? Like, I don't.
And
but
I know
give,
you.
Yeah,
I personally
see?
know you, so
Yeah.
I can
And I
see you
don't
being
care.
like, "Yep, show is
Right. But now when
Let's
it
go
came
to
down
bed.
to it, I wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah, yeah,
But like joking or like playing,
Yeah.
all day. I just can't do it because I'm not attracted to men. There's
Yeah.
nothing about a man's body. But okay, let's say this: for like a trans woman, it's technically a man body, right? But sometimes you see them, bro. They look like women, straight up, and that can be attractive. Like all the things a woman's supposed to have: the boobs, the ass, the long hair, the soft features, the
Do you gotta have surgery? Do you have to have surgery to
You don't have to. They do.
pills
To what?
to like become soft?
Um,
Because a man,
I think-
like when you born, like a man's not gonna automatically come out soft. They gonna come
not
out
always, because
Okay.
some men have testosterone issues to where they have to actually take testosterone. And like, there's a lot of men out there on Joe Rogan is on testosterone. I'm not saying he has
No.
Joe Rogan beat my motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
But like he openly says it. He takes it, and it gives men energy and whatnot. It makes them feel manly. And sometimes men have a chemical imbalance to where their body just does not produce it. So you see softer men. Like,
Okay.
bro, even somebody could look at me and say the same thing. I'm not very hairy. I'm not big. Like, I can't gain weight for anything. Like, I bet you if I took TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy,
Yeah.
I could get big, like, and be more man. I could grow facial hair because I can't. Like, I don't know about you, but I just nothing.
Yeah. I used to have one, but I shaved now. But
See, people ask me all the
if I don't-
time, like, "Oh, you could grow, right? Like, just shave a couple." No, bro, it don't
Yeah.
work.
If I don't shave for a whole month, you'll see. Like you'll start seeing
Get
it
the
like
beard?
coming, and you'll be like, "You got a beard."
Bro, you should bring the beard in. Yeah, everybody else is beards. And it's like,
It's beard
actually,
season.
beards are starting to go away now.
feel-
So yeah. If I could, I would.
Oh,
I just think they would look
yeah.
like this shit though. Like
Yeah.
my little whiskers, the shit
Yeah.
look weird, bro. It just be like
Patches.
hair. like just long hair, it wouldn't look good on me. But like I said, like if I was to take TRT, testosterone, I think I would grow hair. Just like men who take estrogen start to lose facial hair. They start to develop more softer features.
Okay, so all right.
But you don't have to get surgery.
Okay. So that's what
like voice will change. Have you ever seen the videos where it's like, I see a lot with like women, or not, I'm sorry, not women, men, trans men, who will be like, this is my voice one day on T, talking about testosterone. And they'll do a time lapse all the way to like year 3.
And bro, deeper.
Deeper.
And then it starts getting like softer.
No, it's just deep, and then like at the end of, they're like, this is my voice, 3 years on T, and they got a man voice, and like that's all from taking testosterone. Same thing with men who want to transition to women can take estrogen, and it will soften their voice. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's scary.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, be whatever makes you happy.
Of course.
And
I think that goes with everything, though.
Yeah.
I think it goes with drugs. I think it goes with sexuality. I think it goes with sexual identification, gender.
That's okay, and I agree with you. So, if someone comes up to me and I say, "Hey, why are you doing that?" and they say it makes me happy, I can't get mad at them.
As long as it isn't hindering anyone else's ability to be happy, I can't either.
Yeah, like if you're not harming.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're not harming someone else.
If you're not even just harming, but if what makes you happy isn't like with your wife. If you say something makes me happy, but it makes my wife sad, I'm gonna be like, bro, do you really like
love your wife? Want to be with your wife? Want to be married?
Why are you doing that if that makes her sad? Like, can y'all compromise? Can y'all come up with something? But if you're doing something that has no effect on her or anyone else around you, do it. I don't care if that's calling you a her or him, and I'll be respectful. I'll if you identify as a her, I'll call you her. If you want to be a he, I'll call you a he. I will draw the line at people who's like every hour check in with me. See what I feel like. I may feel like a woman on this hour, and I may feel more manly on this hour. And if you get it wrong, you're a piece of shit. That's where I'm like, you take yourself too seriously, huh? You think the world needs to check on you.
Around you.
Yeah.
You think the world will revolve around
exactly.
you.
To tell people, like, say you're out and you look like a woman. You got the long hair, the nails. And even if I know you're a biological man, I may say, ma'am. And if you go, well, I don't feel like a ma'am right now, and you try to jump on me, I'm going to go,
look at your appearance.
Like I'm trying to be respectful, but...
Right. Like you're dressed like a woman right now.
Yeah, everything feminine about you. And I'm not saying, like, men can't wear dresses, but that's why I said, like, if you got the nails and the makeup and all that, like...
So I like that. So, let's say a woman... Short haircut.
Brother, now hold up.
Short haircut.
There can't be tomboys.
Okay, well, short. Okay, so you said not tomboys.
There can be tomboys. Are girls who dress and act more manly. Yeah, but they still like dick.
And what if I said?
And they sexy.
Hey, sir. I'm not a sir.
Yeah. See, you got me because that's tricky.
I'm not a sir.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you're like, but you look.
I apologize.
Yeah. But you was trying. I
apologize. Because you're being respectful. So you're saying
you're trying to be.
Yeah.
I think intent is everything.
They get mad if you say, so if you say that, hey sir, I'm not a sir, and you say, I apologize, and they're like, well, maybe you need to ask first, or you maybe don't even say ma'am or sir to me. You know what I mean?
Well, then I think you have an asshole. Yeah. On your hands, and like you can't. There's nothing you can do to an asshole that's gonna make them happy.
Some of them be like, that's fine.
Right, because they probably understand.
I understand.
A reasonable person. If I went out right now, I got longer hair right now, longer than what you probably ever seen, longer than what I've had in my whole life. If I was to put on a dress and some makeup, and go out in public, and somebody called me a ma'am, thinking they was being respectful, who am I to be like, you motherfucker? Like, and then I square up with my pumps and my hair and my dress. Like, you know, that's, nah. If they was like, oh, I was trying to be respectful, me as a logical person would be like,
Understandable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that's just the difference between assholes and kind people.
Yeah.
I think people, and that's the thing, man, they can tell intent. And intent is what matters the most. Like, if you go up to somebody who, let's say a tomboy, who is a female, a straight female, just is more boyish, and you're like, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? Like, you're being a dick. And your intent is clear. I think they're going to know that.
Yeah.
And then they have the right to be a dick back.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to be respectful, it's going to be obvious.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Bro, tomboys is something else. Now that you talk about it, like this got brought up on something, like, tomboys is sexy.
Yeah. Because I've honestly had, like, an issue with that before. Like, with me working at, like, sales jobs and dealing with customer service.
Anything with.
Like, I was saying, I'd be like, yes, sir. Or, yes, ma'am.
Where you ever did it on the phone? Yeah.
Or the drive-through. So let's say I'm taking an order on the drive-through and
it's a
the
deeper
voice,
yeah,
it's a deeper voice. And I'm like, will there be anything else for you, sir? I'm not a sir. But it sounds like a sir.
Yeah.
Like, my apologies. That's what I'll say. My apologies. Going back to what you said, they're like, that's fine.
Now,
but some people be like, some people get mad.
Well, think about
it. I'm like, but if you get mad, I'm like, are you not comfortable in your body or in your situation?
Maybe
why would you get mad?
Well, maybe they are comfortable, but they're getting that every day, all day. They get it every time they're at a drive-thru. They're getting it every time they're on a phone. So maybe like they reach that point to where they're like, motherfucker, like I'm not that. Like, bitch, I got titties. Like, you know, like.
Sorry,
maybe they
I don't
just
mean to laugh.
Like, it's funny though. I mean,
it's funny. And then it make them want to start taking them.
Maybe.
Probably like the pills to be like, maybe I need to make my voice.
I don't know if they can. Maybe what if they have like a throat issue though? Like your vocal cords are just. Because I think the tighter your vocal cords, the higher pitch voice you have, and the more loose is the more like it's like strings. The more deeper it's gonna be.
All right. I don't know. Maybe that's probably why they don't want to take like those pills. So let's switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
So stay on the same subject, but switch the topic up a little bit. So let's say that man that's changing into a woman and they go into a certain sport, like a female, just a straight female sport. Do you think they should be allowed to?
What sport? Are we talking chest?
Let's say.
Are we talking?
So I think this is actually a real topic, a real thing. So I believe like a man went into a woman, like his whole transformation and going to a woman. And I want to say, was it volleyball?
I'm not sure about this one. I know about the swimmer.
Okay, so I think it was a volleyball player too.
So
I think it was a volleyball player. I think they jumped up and like hit the ball, and I guess they said they were super strong. They had like manly strength, but they were transforming themselves into a woman, and like it like busted like the person's the other lady's like
and
face.
That's why I have to ask, what sports are we talking about? If we're talking about any sport where physical strength is a competitive edge, no, I don't believe they should, just because of reasons like that. If we're talking about like wrestling, basketball, volleyball, anything that strength, speed, height, the ability to jump higher, anything benefits you, no, I don't believe you should be able to compete. I believe you should be able to identify as a woman all you want.
Okay.
I don't believe you should be able to compete with biological women.
Okay. All right.
Because I was talking about the swimmer. This, as a man, he was ranked like 400, right? He switched over to a woman, and he was ranked like number 1, just like that, like overnight, like
because of like the strength, like
it's just his ability to. He's stronger. He's like faster. He's longer. It's just you know, and like I'm all.
Do you think that should be against the rules?
I think so, because it's almost. Bro, think about it. Okay, so in UFC, you cannot take any PEDs, anything that's performance enhancing. No steroids, no testosterone. You can't even be on TRT. Even if a doctor says you cannot take that because that's performance enhancing. So why would we let somebody who has testosterone naturally pumping through their body for 30 or even 18 years go compete in a sport where they don't have as much testosterone? Their bones ain't as dense. Their muscle twitch fiber is not as fast. All that. That's a competitive edge.
Okay. So, sorry to cut you off. Let's go right here. So, let's say you have a female, pretty strong, very fast.
Right.
Do you think they should just say, okay, females should only participate in female sports only? But then let's just say one time they're like, or I'm a fight a guy, in practice. Let's say they're training and they fight a guy in practice and they end up beating up the guy and they like, oh.
So you're talking about if a biological female chooses to compete with men.
Yeah.
I think that's her choice.
Okay. Do you think they should let them, or should they just say, nope, you got to pick one or two, because
you are professional level.
You are a man, so you gotta stay a man.
Let me ask you this: did you know there's nothing saying that women can compete in the NBA? Even though we have a WNBA, right? They can play it. They can play in the NBA. Did you know that? Women, you know why they don't? Because they're not good enough. The best woman player is not good enough to compete with the worst NBA players. I swear to God. Fact.
Is that a fact?
Fact. Check it. 50-50 cat, 50-50 fat, but this is a fact.
Who said that woman is not better than the worst male player in the NBA?
Because they would be competing in the NBA. Because you have to go through tryouts, right? You have to get drafted. They have to pick you.
Yeah.
It's
the National Basketball Association is for men.
No. Nope. It does not say the National Men's Basketball Association. It says the National Basketball Association.
Don't say it, but
look it up. Fact check me. Women can compete if they are good enough. There is nothing stopping a woman from playing in the NBA. They are just not good enough to compete with LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant.
Physical, because of the physical.
Any ability. Of it, they just can't compete. It's just not the same level.
I know girls that probably dust some guys.
No, you know girls that can dust some guys. You don't know any girl that can dust LeBron James. You don't know.
That ain't been shown in the public.
Because they can't do it. You don't think if there's a girl that can dunk on LeBron and cross him over and hit threes on him all day, she wouldn't do it? She would do it. They can't.
They don't play against each other, so you'll never know.
They can. Though, that's what I'm saying. It's possible. It's not like the UFC. The UFC will not let a woman fight a man. Even if she's like, I want to.
Because it's combat.
Because, well, yeah. And they understand that they understand that, men just have a...
Fact check.
A combat advantage over women, whether it be the bone density, like I said, the muscle twitch fiber. It's such a competitive edge that they will not do it. But y'all can look this up. Could a woman play in the NBA? They can.
Okay, so it says, this is the fact checked according to Google. It says no. Currently, there is no women's division in the NBA.
Right. Now keep going.
However, there are professional women's basketball leagues such as the WNBA, which is the Women's National Basketball Association.
Did you ask, can a woman play in the NBA? Because that's the whole point. Is if they are good enough, can they compete in the NBA, or can they only go to the WNBA?
Okay, so in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft, the New Orleans Jazz selected Harris with the 137th pick. She became the second woman ever drafted by an NBA team.
See, so women can play in the NBA.
Her name was Denise Long. No, it says after. So after that, It says a woman by the name of Denise Long.
I think she might be the one
by
that
the
got pregnant, right?
San Francisco Warriors. So it says in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft, the New Orleans Jazz selected Harris with the 137th pick overall.
Yep.
She became the second woman ever drafted by an NBA team after Denise Long.
Yeah.
So Denise Long was the first.
Yeah, when they picked Denise Long in the 13th round. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So see, women can be drafted to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That's fact.
Okay.
But women cannot compete with LeBron James. Women cannot compete with Kevin Durant.
So they're good enough to be in the NBA.
They don't do well once they're there. I don't know how these women did.
So that's what I'm. So I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that like there's women that can be in the NBA.
But can they get there and perform? They can be in it, yes, 100%. But can they get there and compete just as well and hold their own against LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Russell? Maybe I shouldn't say Kyrie with all the anti-Semitic shit going on. But
Kyrie a beast.
Kyrie a beast, but he's fucking crazy. I think he got caught in the whole brainwashing. I mean, he thinks the world's flat. He thinks all kinds of crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Shout out Kyrie, though. I fuck with your shoes.
Yeah. Denise Long was just one of the 34th students in her class who would soon become known by millions. Long scored 111 points in a single game.
Woo! In a women's game or a men or NBA game?
100 points 100 points 2 other times. Let's see. She was inducted into the Iowa girls basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So let's see.
So see, she sounds like a badass fucking baller. Think about it. She's scoring 100 points in multiple games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking beast. It's like she would cross me the fuck up, dunk all over me maybe.
I think she probably beating that.
I don't think she's doing it to LeBron. Not
LeBron.
I don't think she's doing it to any bench writer on the NBA.
Really?
I don't think so. Because I think even the worst, they say...
Well, Denise Long, I don't know, you 72 right now,
Cross me up, Denise.
According to Wikipedia, you 72 years old.
I'll break the old ankles. She ain't doing
but in
shit.
your prime, I don't know. I would like to see that. You know, I would like to see like a woman getting a chance to play in an actual men's NBA game.
Do you think there's a woman out there good enough?
And be able to start and be like, get the opportunity to be like, I'm going to compete for a starting position.
Yeah. Over my peers.
Of men. Like the way he said that, of men. And make it. Give me a shot.
I don't think it's happening.
And if they give her a shot, they be like, oh yeah, you starting. You starting the full season, 82 games.
So this is my point though. So they can do it. Women can 100% be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Why don't they do it? It would only be logical to do it. You make more money. You get better promotions. Mm-hmm. Why play in the WNBA? There is no value.
I think it's just because they're physical, like their physical abilities, like their strength.
Yep.
Like they're not as fast, they're not as strong.
So you're saying the best woman can't compete with the best in the NBA?
I don't know, because there's some people that's riding the bench, and I'm like, how'd you even make it to the NBA?
No, I'm not saying there's not trash players. Yeah. There's 100% trash players in the NBA. Whether that be because their work ethic, their, whatever, their IQ of the sport. I mean, look at J.R. Smith. Like, I mean, he was in the championship game, running the wrong way when they needed him to shoot. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
And he looked a little high. Like, that could go back to the whole, do you want to allow these people to smoke? Mm-hmm. But I still don't think Lisa Leslie in her prime, I have to name drop her. That's the only woman I know besides Brittany Garner. And I know her for other reasons. Yeah. I don't think she's fucking with J.R. Smith. I just don't see it happening. If she could, she would. Like I said, there is no...
J.R. Smith used to be a starter. He used to be
That's what I'm
starter.
saying.
Like in his prime, he He was known as like a
don't-
shooter. You know, he could jump. So yeah,
People
so
give him shit for the whole fucking
that situation,
Yeah.
like going the wrong way. Yeah,
and not realizing what time it
yeah,
was.
that kind of
and
messed up his career.
It did.
Yeah,
All because that one thing, and they forget. Same thing with like people like Roy Jones Jr., bro. Let's talk about this. So Roy, I think it might be tonight. Roy Jones is boxing Anthony Showtime Pettis.
Yep.
Roy looked a little flabby in the way he is,
did.
bro. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
I'm worried now.
Yeah.
People see that and they go, "This dude's a joke." These people forgot, and he made a song.
You must have forgot.
Y'all must
Yeah.
have forgot. Roy was a
Roy Jones
fucking
was a
beast,
Yes,
bro.
man.
I'm talking like Roy's my number one.
Yeah.
Everybody can say
Pound for
Mayweather,
pound?
for pound in boxing, not in all combat.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, we've seen
He up
what
there.
Jake Paul does to MMA fighters when they go strictly boxing, but you're taking away so much of their game. Like, I think if Jake Paul was to box with somebody from UFC who is strictly a striker, somebody like Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
I think Stephen Thompson's gonna hold his own. I mean, Jake Paul did win a fight technically against Anderson Silva, bro. Not in his prime.
No.
You know, washed up.
Yeah.
We see what Tommy did to Jake. Tommy got the W.
Yeah.
Tommy's not even a great boxer.
Yeah.
He's just a decent boxer. So Jake couldn't even hold his. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Jake. I was a Jake hater, 100%. I will.
You was, bro.
I was.
I remember like when
I
he
hated
first.
it. I hated
I
it.
was like, "What do you think about Jake Paul
Hated
being a
it.
boxer?" He was like, "I hate it. Like, nah,
I thought he
think
was
that's
just
a bad
YouTuber,
idea."
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But bro, he's got, for one, decent skills. For sure, got knockout power.
Yeah.
He's knocked out 2
I was gonna say.
UFC veterans.
I think it's been what is it? All of his opponents that he's fought in boxing, except for maybe one. I think he knocked out everybody except for one. I think.
He didn't knock out Tyron Woodley. He didn't knock out Anderson. He didn't knock out Tommy.
No, he did knock out.
No, he didn't knock out
Woodley.
Tommy.
No, he didn't knock out Tommy. He lost to Tommy.
Yeah.
But
he didn't knock out Woodley the first time. He knocked out Woodley in the rematch.
Yeah.
When
okay.
it was supposed to be Tommy and Tommy pulled out.
Yeah.
He knocked out Tyron Woodley the
Woodley.
second time.
Yeah.
The first time, no. Actually, Tyron rocked Jake Paul and had him against the ropes and didn't capitalize on it for whatever reason. I'm not a fighter.
So
I don't know.
And going back to that, so that's kind of weird. So UFC fighters or MMA fighters, it's like when they're limited to just
Striking.
striking or boxing, just using like their hands.
Yep.
Why is it that like they're not as good? So like let's put Tyron Woodley in an octagon.
Yeah.
Jake Paul don't have a chance.
No.
He don't
Not
have
at
a
all.
chance.
Nope.
But if you just say, okay,
But
let's put,
now put
Woodley
Tyron-
Tyron Woodley into a ring, like a boxing ring, like,
Yeah.
all you gotta do is just use
Your hands.
your hands.
And your feet movement. Bro,
Yeah,
boxing,
it's
I
like-
think, is more footwork
You
than
like,
hands.
yeah, it's like you kind of like, oh, he got knocked out. Dang, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
but we're
'Cause you
also
can be
talking-
the best in the octagon, but be like get knocked out in a boxing match.
But that's where I beg to differ because Tyron Woodley wasn't the best in the octagon when he went to boxing. He was actually already released from the UFC
Yeah.
because he was on a losing
Yeah.
streak.
Well,
He was out of
yeah.
his prime.
Yeah,
Now
okay.
Tyron Woodley in his prime boxed Jake Paul. I think we see a different outcome.
Okay, so you're saying it's when you fight them.
Yeah, look at the age gaps. Jake Paul didn't fight nobody his age until he fought Tommy Fury,
And he lost.
and he lost. I think Tommy Fury may be a little older.
I think he is.
I'm not sure.
He probably
Than
is.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, maybe older 20s, late or yeah,
I can't.
early 30s, late 20s.
He may be younger than we think, actually. But when Jake had to fight somebody around his own age, Tommy Fury is only 23 years old.
Okay, so that's young, fairly
That's
young, fairly young. And Jake Paul is how old?
That's what I'm looking
Probably
at.
like around like the
Jake
same
Paul is
age.
26.
Okay, so Jake Paul's older than him.
3 years older. Damn. I thought Tommy was older. Tommy is a big boy,
Yeah,
man.
he is. He's
Fuck
pretty.
me.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, legit, fuck me, because
yeah.
that boy's sexy. No homo.
But he he is. He built. He cut. He
Bro,
built.
he's built and handsome.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you see him versus Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
They gotta be. They gotta be
yeah,
half brothers.
Yeah, they
It's
got
gotta
like
be.
a different mama.
Gotta be.
Yeah, different daddy, different mama.
Cause
But Tommy was known as a boxer.
yes,
And
yes.
he beat Jake Paul. So when Jake Paul actually fighting boxers, he got a
He couldn't.
he couldn't hold his own. But when
I say
fighting,
he couldn't hold his own. He didn't get knocked out or nothing. He just
Right.
lost via decision.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how bad boxing is, but we've seen the UFC decisions here lately. Some of them have been pure robberies. I mean, just people want to talk about the Sugar Sean Peter Yan fight.
Yeah.
I think Sean won. I'll admit I'm a Sean fan.
Yeah.
But if we're going off damage, and I think that's one of the highest, criteria in fighting, I think Sean got him. Peter was cut the fuck open. Sean gave Peter a whole pussy in his forehead with that knee.
Yeah.
Like, made that motherfucker a full-on hermaphrodite. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A big old lump.
Big old motherfucking
Yeah.
gash. Like,
Yeah.
but there's been some fights that are just totally like you know who won, and then they call it, and you're like, how, So maybe Tommy got like a bad decision call. Maybe Jake got robbed because Jake did drop Tommy, but Jake also got a point deducted in that fight. I can't remember for what, but there was something he got a point deducted for.
Was it like? Oh, I can't remember. I didn't even know he got a point deducted.
I'm pretty sure he did. I thought it was like for hitting to the back of the head. Or maybe I'm confusing somebody else's fight now. But I thought somebody got a point deducted during a fight.
Okay, I don't know.
To fact check myself because I could just be making
Fact check.
that could be completely made up. After multiple warnings, the referee took a point from Paul in the 5th round, then deducted a point from Fury in the 6th. So they both had a point deducted, and Fury got the win. Okay, so
you think it was based off of that, like the win?
but here's the thing: if they both got a point deducted, that should cancel each point out. 1 point each cancels them out, right? We're back on even playing fields. Jake dropped Tommy in the later rounds, just like he did with Anderson. Jake got the W. But when it came to Tommy, he lost. Now, Tommy was fucking up with that jab. Jake could not handle a real boxer's timing. We seen that. Tommy was just, that jab was keeping him, like, giving him all kind of trouble. He could not get the timing of the jab. Jake still had that nice right hand. And I think it was a jab that dropped Tommy from Jake. So Jake's got skills. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him.
No,
I feel like he belongs in the ring as a boxer. I'm not taking anything away from him.
do you think he belongs in the octagon? Do you think he owes it to these MMA fighters?
Well, yeah, because he's calling out MMA fighters to come and box.
He's calling out retired MMA fighters. He's called out current MMA fighters, but no current MMA fighter on
Like
the UFC,
active,
on UFC roster,
roster
has boxed.
We'll have to see. So I feel like if he wants to really prove himself as the fighter that he is, because he says he's like, he's one of the greatest, So,
We know, well, that's all cap.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. We know that's cap. Come on, like, that's not facts. We cannot call Jake Paul the greatest.
Yeah.
We can say he's got skill.
Yeah.
I'm not putting him under the GOAT. There's no way.
I'm not either.
There's no way.
I'm not either, but he is saying he.
What do you think
like he's one
about
of the
Paul
greatest.
versus Darren Till? Do you know Darren Till? The Vanilla Gorilla?
Okay, I've heard that before.
Okay.
Man, nah.
You don't think so? Till has been released from the UFC,
Yeah.
and he said he's going to boxing, and he said, striking is my bread and butter. He just recently said this on a post, and he has been defeated lately by, like, people who can grapple. Like, he cannot wrestle, I think Till could give Jake Paul a run for his money.
because he's fighting against people that's what they do.
Well, he's
They
fighting against
strike.
people that are past their prime. Like Tyron Woodley was more of a wrestler than a boxer.
Yeah.
Like he had hands. He knocked out Josh Koscheck like
Yeah.
crazy. That was a highlight. Like stuck him, dude. Like bent down, squatty, and fucking rocked him again. That was crazy. But Tyron's more of a wrestler. And it came against Usman, and of course, Usman's story played out the way it did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Darren Till could give Jake a run for his money. I would like to see it. I like Till. I hate to see him cut from the UFC. I just think he was on a bad losing streak, and he couldn't get it together.
So they cut him.
They cut him.
Yeah.
He couldn't. He just couldn't get a W.
So how many fights do you have to lose in a row to get cut? What, like
It depends on how much you sell. If you're a Conor McGregor, you could lose every fight. Because Conor's going to sell tickets regardless.
Yeah.
You're going to keep Conor. Derek Lewis has been on a losing streak lately,
Yeah,
sadly.
that's my boy, man.
I hate it. I hate to see it. They're not getting rid of Derek Lewis unless Derek Lewis wants to leave. He sells tickets. Everybody wants to see the Black Beast. Like, Derek Lewis is just that. He's a fucking beast.
So another question, which I probably already know the answer, but if you're on an active MMA roster or UFC roster, you can't participate in boxing, right?
Not unless Dana signs off on it.
Yeah.
And the only one he's ever done it with is Conor Mayweather, and he says he will never do it again because it was such a headache. I don't know if he meant promotion-wise and just dealing with all that, but he said never again.
Yeah. See, that's why it's going to be hard for Jake Paul to actually fight somebody that's not...
Yeah, anybody active.
Yeah. See, so, I don't know. So if that's the case...
The only one who could make another boxing match happen that's an active UFC fighter is McGregor. Does he want to, though? I mean, I think he got exposed in the Floyd fight. I think we seen, like, Conor can't hang with the world's best boxer, who is arguably the GOAT. Like, some people will say he is the best boxer ever because his record, clearly. Like, that's what they'll say. He's 50-0 or 49 in Conor McGregor, however you want to look at it. And he's even more now after doing, like, exhibitions. Like, I just don't have him up there. He's great.
Keyword, you said record, based off his record.
They'll say the same thing for Khabib because he was undefeated. Khabib has to be the GOAT. I don't think so necessarily. Because
you can't.
I don't know.
To me, basing it off of the record, just because you haven't been beaten, I think it's the fighters that you fight. So, and this is for me, in order for you to be the GOAT, you have to fight everybody in their prime.
Okay.
If
So do you agree that Floyd
so
is the GOAT? Because he fought everybody, bro. He fought Canelo. He fought...
Canelo wasn't in his prime.
True. It was a young Canelo.
So, and right now,
Do you think Canelo...
he's in it. I would honestly say he's in his prime. Cause he's older now. But Canelo, I think if Floyd Mayweather will fight Canelo today, Canelo would beat Floyd Mayweather. Let's say because Floyd Mayweather's retired right now.
Yeah.
So let's say if Floyd Mayweather I want to come back. I want to fight Canelo. Canelo would whoop Floyd Mayweather.
Canelo is 32 years old as of
Okay.
now.
So
And that, which is
prime.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather cannot beat Canelo.
Do you think
today.
John Jones is the GOAT? I mean, we just witnessed what he did to Cyril Gane.
Yes.
Who went 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou and lost via decision. And we watched John go in there and took one shot, and it was to the dick. And that was it. That was it.
I mean, what was it? 30 seconds? Or no?
The fight total was a minute and something.
A minute, yeah.
About 30 seconds in is when he took the nut shot. And that was the only shot he took. And then got Gane's back, took him against the cage, and did almost what he did to Lito Machida.
Yeah. I would honestly could say John Bon Jones is
The GOAT.
the best active heavyweight champion right now.
Who do you think could beat him, if anybody? Who could come and take that title off of Jones? Francis?
I
Yuri?
would have loved to see that fight. I was when Francis dropped out of that fight, like I was like it made me be like, come on, man, like
Yeah,
you
have
scared
to fight the
like
best.
you scared,
Yeah.
like because he's like, oh, it's because I want more money, and I'm like, to me, I was like, it can't be the money because if you want to be the best.
But he can't be
You
worried
have
about
to
losing
fight.
because Francis has lost in the past, so it can't be a lose thing. Do you think it's a scared of just John in particular, or
I honestly think it is.
you think so?
Yeah, because you're coming into the sport. I feel like you have to come into the sport for two reasons: to be the best, and to make the most money that you can.
Right.
Right.
That's the goals of anybody.
That's the goals of anybody.
I think money is the main goal. If I'm being honest,
Okay.
I don't see nobody fighting just
to be the best,
just to
but
be the
get
best with no
paid.
money. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're making, let's say, so how much was he being paid to fight Jones?
Francis would have got, I think it was $3 million per fight, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was $1 million for 3 fights, so $1 million each. But I mean, that's not counting pay-per-view shares. That's not counting bonuses if he wins. Performance of the night bonuses. Okay. So he would have easily, I can say with confidence, made at least $1 million fighting Jones.
Okay, and that's the most he's ever made in any other fights in the UFC.
I don't know.
Of his career.
I don't know. He may have made that with Cyril Gane. Maybe with the last Stipe fight. I'm not sure. But like I've said, Francis has been beat. It can't be just a scared to lose thing. It has to be. I just can't see Francis as being scared of John Jones. That's what this man does. He fights for a living.
Right, I agree. So that's why I'm saying when he backed out because of money, I was like, you scared.
See, and I disagree. I don't think he was scared because he does this. I mean, he fights for it. He goes in the cage, stripped down basically to his underwear, and fights the baddest men on the planet. And the UFC is the top. They have the cream of the crop. Bellator has its whatever, one, whatever. Oh, that's great. Everybody wants to be in the UFC. UFC is MMA. They're the big dogs. And you do have the Stipes, the John Joneses, the Yuri Prochazkas. You have all those in the UFC. Derek Lewis. Francis went against Derek Lewis. Technically lost. And it was the most boring fight. Probably ever.
Okay.
Probably ever, to be real. But that's a loss. But he still got in there with somebody like Derek Lewis, who has real knockout power. We know this. Man has Knockout King tatted on his chest. That's not for show. I mean,
Yeah.
Francis has fought Alistair Overeem, which is a scary motherfucker, and snapped his head back. I'm talking about, like, had him looking straight up at the ceiling with that uppercut.
Yeah. I thought it broke his neck.
Bro,
Like,
I don't know how it didn't.
God.
I don't know how it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, so he done that to all of those guys that you just mentioned, but then John Bones Jones' name
Who is probably going to be his
got
biggest payout.
got put in your lap and was like, all right, so you did this to this person and this person and this person.
Yep. Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy. Oh man, I ain't getting paid enough. You scared?
I think Francis, honestly, and we can't.
Because let's say he made the same amount of money knocking out all of those other people.
Right.
John Bones Jones come in your lap. Oh no, I gotta get paid more to fight him. You scared?
Would you
to me,
would
I
you not
think-
want to get paid more to fight John? John's a monster, man.
Yeah.
He's the greatest of all time. I mean, this man is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The elbows, the all of the fight IQ, the head kicks. I mean,
This is taken out of, because I don't want to sound biased, because I'm a UFC fan, so I want to see the best compete with each other. So let's say and I can't even, it's kind of hard for me to even say if I was in Francis's shoes, but let's just say if I was, and this is just me, my honest opinion. I come into the sport to be the best.
yeah,
So of course I want to make money.
yeah.
But if someone say, all right, we're going to pay you this amount of money to fight the best fighter in the world, in history, known as the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Has one loss on his record, and it's a bullshit loss.
Yeah. This is your chance to show the world that you can beat him.
And you just can't see it being about money.
I'd be like, all right. To me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right.
If I was in Francis's shoes, I would have been like, all right, too.
Let's do music, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If they say, I'm gonna give you a Drake feature,
Right.
but you ain't getting paid for it. We're gonna put this song out. The label's gonna take all of the money. You're not gonna get paid for it.
The
but
only
you gonna
thing
get
you
a
get
Drake
is the
feature.
exposure.
I'd be like, yeah, throw me on the
You
song
would?
with Drake. I would. Throw me on a song with Drake. Because then, after I get a song with Drake, and I do good, I'm going to give it my all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do good. I'm going to capitalize after that. So then I'm going to say, I got a song with Drake, bro.
But I think fighting's a little different. I don't think you can go out there and be like, I lost to Drake and get the same. You can't capitalize on that the same. I get the comparison.
Yeah.
I get in the money realm, the comparison. But it's really not on the same level.
Okay.
Because you still get to say, I have this with Drake.
Let's say Francis takes the fight
Yeah.
for however much money they was giving him, and he beats John Bones Jones.
Yep.
Give me my money. I beat the greatest of all time.
I think
Now
he was worried he couldn't do it.
give me my money.
I think he was worried he wasn't going to be able to.
Because he's scared.
You think he's scared?
I think he's scared.
I think
he's scared. So he's like, give me the money first, because if I
Guarantee
lose
me,
and I
yeah.
get knocked out or I get choked
out,
like how that
which
dude
will
did,
most likely happen.
I'm at least be like, all right, man, I made $10 million.
Yeah.
So if somebody, the backlash, like, dude, you got choked out, bro.
I got choked
I
out
made
for
$10
$10
million.
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't say Francis was scared only just because he does this for a living.
Okay. Give me your opinion on it.
I think he thought he was about to go get some boxing money, guaranteed. And I think he was about to get $10 million for a fight, whether it be Deontay, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, whoever. But Francis fucked up and fumbled the bag, because if you ain't the UFC heavyweight champ, you're just a guy. We can't put Deontay Wilder in a ring with just a guy. You have to be something, and that champion status gave Francis that something.
Yeah.
That's why people were talking about these super fights. Francis versus Deontay. Oh, no, it's going to be Tyson now. And then once Francis stepped away from the championship, the UFC,
they're always going to be like,
they're kind of like, now, like, bro, now we can't, what do we market?
Yeah.
The former UFC champion, the guy who didn't want to defend his belt against the best, but now we're going to give him a shot against Deontay Wilder. I mean, they're doing it with Jake Paul. Why not let Francis do it? That's my opinion on the boxing.
Yeah.
Let him do it. Because Francis has knockout power. He's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder has holes in his game. We found that out with Tyson Fury. Deontay can't fight going backwards. He's got the that eraser, but he can't do it going backwards. And Tyson figured that out in the first fight in the 12th round.
Got him.
Came back from the dead. Had a draw.
Yeah.
But then in the second and third fight, you
it was
know,
over.
straight up, like there's no denying that.
Yeah.
You
Tyson
can't,
dominated him.
you know.
So what's a bigger headline? The former heavyweight champion fights the former, or let's say the former heavyweight UFC champion fights the former heavyweight boxing champion. Deontay Wilder versus Francis. Or would you say Francis versus John Bones Jones?
I think the clear answer is boxing, because boxing just, the money that's in boxing is crazy, you know, and they're allowed to get like extra promoters and sponsors. I mean, not promoters, extra sponsors, which the UFC only allows an X amount. I think they allow maybe Reebok and Monster, and other than that, I'm not even sure if a UFC fighter can go do like an outside deal. Like if a shoe company came to somebody and was like, "Hey, we want to make you a shoe, and we want it to be, you know, the Usman ones."
So I get that. So the headline. So because of course Francis can go and make more money in boxing.
Yeah.
But let's just take like the money out of it and say like.
So you're talking about what,
headline,
just
like, who would be
popularity?
the bigger fight. So let's say like we're promoting. Oh, we got the former
Would you not watch
heavyweight
both?
champion Francis is fighting against the former champion Deontay Wilder. WBC, you know, they hype it up, you know, and then, you know, who would make the more money? So
No, well, you said take money out of it.
so
though.
let's make money out of it. So
we going off what, strictly popularity?
Yeah, the streets, they're gonna be like, oh, I want to see that Francis and Deontay Wilder fight.
Okay.
Or they're gonna say, oh no, I want to see that Francis and John Bones Jones fight.
Ask yourself, what has more fans, boxing versus UFC? Sadly, I'll probably say boxing. Boxing is probably more worldwide known. UFC's getting there. Don't get me wrong. UFC's been doing big numbers.
Yeah,
and like here's
especially this year right here.
well, here's the thing with
Every
UFC
fight
and
is
boxing. The lower ranked boxing that's like just on your daytime television doesn't do the numbers the daytime UFC does. Like, I bet you this last fight that they had on non-pay-per-view, the Cheeto Vera versus Corey Sandhagen, which was a wild fight. I can't believe Corey got the win. I thought Cheeto was coming out and getting this win. And then we was going to see Cheeto versus O'Malley after O'Malley gets the title shot. You know, but I think the lower UFC does better than the lower boxing. I think boxing only does good with the big names, the big pay-per-views, the Tyson Furie's and Deontay Wilders. Nobody's checking for the Johnsons versus the Smiths. You know, it's
Garcia versus Gervonta Davis.
now that's gonna be a big fight. I think so. Like, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, they consider big though.
I think your boy Tank gonna lose. I think Tank gonna eat a left hook and then he's gonna take a little nap. He's gonna get tucked in right at bedtime story.
They say Ryan's like left hook is like it's powerful and it's quick.
Have you seen the video where he knocks the dude out with the left hook and you don't even see it?
Yeah.
Like, they have to slow it down because it looks like the dude just quits. You don't understand what's going on until they play it back, and it's this left hook that is just so it snaps so quick. Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Tank, bro. I love Tank. Tank is like personality wise, everything, the appearance, everything. He's just dope. I just, man, Ryan's long.
I'm just saying I don't know because I don't know. I mean, because Ryan is good. He is good.
I'm gonna put my money on Ryan. Just like I told you about Leon when we watched the first Leon versus Kamara. I said if somebody was to beat Usman, it's gonna be Leon.
Same thing with Gervonta. If somebody was to beat Gervonta,
it's gonna be Garcia.
Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
So if Gervonta loses, I ain't gonna be like, man, dang, man, he lost. I'm gonna be like,
it could be happening.
I'm gonna be like.
So if Francis would have fought John Jones and Francis would have got just either knocked the fuck out or done like Cyril Gane and submitted in a matter of minutes, would you respect him more than Not at all fighting.
Yes, I would be like,
At least
oh man,
at least
he
tried.
lost, man, but it was to John Bones Jones. So I'd be like, Francis is still a bad man.
Yeah,
you know,
and they
he's
got to
still a
run it back,
bad
of course.
man.
You know, the former champion always gets the rematch, which it's funny. The former champ getting the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, the champ doesn't get the belt back.
So I'm glad that last one that you brought, because you said, would you respect Francis more if he took the fight?
And lost.
Yes. So, and then we were talking about the money situation too, and then we brought up Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. So if you watch like some of the press conferences, like actually Ryan was like, okay, so like Davis wanted more money, we gave him more money. He's like, I want to fight him. Like he tried to put that what's that clause where you the weight clause?
The weight clause. Yeah, he's
like,
trying to wait.
He tried to do a weight dream.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, I want to fight. I want to be the best.
Yeah.
So see how Ryan's attitude is. He's like,
But he also thinks he can beat him. I don't think Francis had that with Jones.
Goes back.
Yeah.
Scared. Because if you have that mentality in your head, let's say you like, I'm the best.
That was Conor in the prime. Same thing.
All right, we're gonna give you $1 million. Give me $1 million. I want to fight the best because I feel like I'm the best.
Whoever the best is.
Yes.
Give me that.
All right. So yeah. So going back to Francis, does Francis not think he's the best?
I guess not. I mean, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, because let's put let's flip it to John Bones Jones. He's like, I'm the best. I've proved that I'm the best. So he can say, give me this money, because he has nothing to prove. He feels like he has nothing to prove.
He's already fought.
He's like, I fought
everybody.
this person.
Who's anybody?
I'm the best. But Francis
Arguably lost his last fight at light heavyweight, though.
Who?
Jones. Against Dominic Reyes. And Dominic ain't been the same since. He's been getting knocked out, but you can make an argument that Dominic won that fight. It can be said.
Okay.
Go back and watch it.
Okay.
And you will be like, damn, this fight is a lot closer than I thought. Jones did not dominate the way he does. I mean, Reyes looked good in that fight.
Yeah.
He ain't looked the same since, but I think that going for the title shot and losing when you gave it your all, and I think you arguably won, I think can do something to you mentally.
Okay.
I think it can be draining, and it can kill your spirit. That's why, when people go back to get their titles, they don't win them most of the time. They lose. It's a head thing. I think once you lose your title, that's it. It's hard to come back from that.
Yes.
I hope it's different with Izzy, but historically speaking,
I agree with you on that.
Hey, we find out though next Saturday. We're 1 week away.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Izzy fan too, and it's almost like I hope he don't lose, but if he lose, I'd be like, you can't fight no more.
Nah, he can definitely fight.
I mean, he can.
No, he cleared out the division. He fought everybody twice. You can't take this man out for that. This dude just has his number, and it's like that. It's weird, You see, and that's what they say about MMA math. It doesn't work. This guy beats this guy. So this guy, if he loses to this guy, shouldn't be able to beat like this guy. But it doesn't work like that. See, Izzy can't beat Alex. Alex can't beat Robert Whittaker. Most likely, who Izzy beat twice. So, that math doesn't work. Robert Whittaker will wrestle the fuck out of Alex Pereira and submit him so quick. But he couldn't do it to Izzy, and Izzy can't
do it too.
It's weird. MMA math doesn't work.
That's weird.
It doesn't work. We're damn near 2 hours in.
Yeah.
I think that's a good conversation for the first episode.
Yeah.
Y'all let us know what y'all think. Man, I hope we have many more to come of this. We do. Let's touch on real quick. We have plans for the future. Upcoming guest. We're gonna bring my brother on, I believe, here soon, and he is going to talk about an incident that took place in our hometown, a shooting. We have Mr. Kendrick Green coming on soon too, a very intelligent young man who is just, years in wisdom. He has surpassed his age in wisdom for sure. Just hopefully big things for the future. Hopefully we can, gain this momentum, keep this thing going.
Yes. Yes, and thank you guys for tuning in. And we're going to end it like that, man. Peace.
Peace.